I've onboarded hundreds of sales reps. I actually lost count a long time ago. And even a good sales rep is destined to fail if you don't have a great onboarding and training plan to ramp them up quickly. So post job offer or official hire, here is a 4-part breakdown that I run with all of my sales management clients that should get your new sales rep up to speed and live on their first calls inside of 7 to 10 business days. Number 1, you have general orientation. Number 2, role-specific strategy or process. Number 3, ride-alongs and shadow time. And number 4 is the trial period. Ooh. Now, bear in mind that there are obviously subpoints within each of these that are all outlined inside of my sales management playbook that you can get for free inside of my Sales Everyday School community. Just check my link in the bio. So first up is general orientation. Now this is everything from job offer or employment agreement to getting them plugged into all your systems and tech and sharing even like the company origin story, the mission, the values, and just some of the general information about the organization structure. I actually have an entire training that we run. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour, and we will quickly get new employees a high-level overview of the company before we start throwing a ton of other more detailed training at them, like how to do their job and what happens on sales calls, etc. So next is role-specific strategy or process. Now, this is the most time-consuming and in-depth as it's actually teaching the employee everything that they'll be responsible for from A to Z. And it needs to be done in stages. For sales reps, I recommend giving them example recordings and demonstrations as you're training them on each stage before finally having them take you through it in a mock call. Now, it's worth quickly noting that you may actually use a mock call as a part of your interview process. Many people do this, and this is usually only something that I reserve for less experienced sales reps that I don't really know or trust that they can do the job. Most of the hires that I make out of my network are proven and battle-tested sales reps with years of experience. So next is ride-alongs and shadow time. Now this would be one of the most self-explanatory steps, but if you have multiple sales reps or you're still taking sales calls, this is your opportunity to match your new hire up with the person that you most want to replicate or emulate, even if that's you. Now be aware that there's risk here that you're exposing someone to bad habits that your employees may have that you maybe aren't aware of. So caution. Now, finally is the trial period. So they've gotten training and they've seen firsthand how we get it done. Now it's time for them to be thrown into the deep end and just see if they sink or swim, see if they respond. You never really truly know how good a sales rep is until they're live on their first call. Sales reps can fool you in the interview because they are persuasive and they're sales reps. So what I recommend is setting a statistically significant boundary with how long you're going to give them before you either part ways with them or you reevaluate their training needs. Ideally, this would be 30 to 50 calls. Most of you can't afford to wait this long, especially if you're paying for leads. Now, review as many of their first calls as quickly as possible to see what you're dealing with. And again, statistically significant could be 10. Or it could be more, right? Actual statistical significance really doesn't come in until 50 to 100, but I'm not going to have you wait that long. And at this point, if you don't have signals that are positive, be it a close, verbal commitment, or just great sounding sales calls and a demonstration of clear understanding of the value proposition, then you may need to cut ties and save both parties time and some sunk cost. So if you're planning hiring a new sales rep soon, do not onboard them without a proven ramp-up plan. Happy selling.